What up, everybody? It's me, Philip. And so, if you've been following me on LinkedIn, particularly, I've been doing a LinkedIn video a day challenge. Um, I was just curious going into the new year. I heard a lot that if you post video content, it has more impact and reach. And so, just being curious myself, I thought, wow, why don't I try to do a 30-day video, 30 a video every day for 30 days, just to see what the impact would be on my LinkedIn. Um, I'm not a trained social media content influencer or have a nice camera, all those bells and whistles, but I understood that if I just try to share a little bit of videos each day, it would make a difference. And so I'm going to share a few things I've observed. I also tracked it with an Excel spreadsheet that I'm going to share with everyone. And one of the things I really want to express upon anyone watching this, particularly young people at George Mason, is don't wait to create. I think that increasing your visibility increases opportunities to connect, collaborate, get in touch with other people. And so, if regardless of the sector of industry, I'm working in higher ed, I'm not a media person, I still feel like this would increase my visibility because through these videos, I've been able to connect with lots of individuals. So, we're going to share real quick. I'm going to share my screen right here on my LinkedIn. And so right here is just my most recent video. So things to think about, after you post. Um, I will tell you right now, I didn't really care about lighting, captions, all those different things. If I were to do real videos of content, I think I would probably slow down, really write out a script or be a little bit more thoughtful. But I just wanted to go on here and share a few things that I've observed. So every time you post something, you can get videos. For those, I'm going to go to the next, view the analytics and share what some of these things mean. So for those that know, impressions is the number of times your post was shown on LinkedIn, just up on the news feed, and the members reach. So think about that, right? Just by posting a video, I reached 207 people. That's just getting and these are estimates, but that's still just getting yourself out there, getting your name out there. You don't know. So consistently putting yourself in front of, 200 people, and impressions is how much LinkedIn will boost. Um, you'll see like video performance. I think that I could have thought about, the videos are about 2 minutes. People stayed on for about 12 seconds, not the best. What I would think is if you were to post a video, rather than try to capture them longer, a hook, try to keep them on the video longer. But it is what it is. I think that's something a lot of people say on YouTube, have a hook, keep them on. I think you're trying to keep them on for at least 30 seconds. So that's something to think about. If I were to do a video again, how would I capture them in that first couple seconds to keep them in? And then just the normal engagements. So, we have reactions, comments, repost. And one of the things I'll see on my spreadsheet that it's very easy for people to just react, right? Just the thumbs up and all those. So if you really want to engaging posts, you're really trying to encourage comments, really trying to encourage people to repost because those are just super rare. Saves, I don't think anyone's ever saved one of my posts. I think that's probably the rarest. And then sends on LinkedIn, that'd be me. Usually a few of these on my spreadsheet, I sent directly to people via message. So that's something you can have more control over. But really, those comments and those reposts are where the money's at. And then thinking about my demographics, this is just based on where people are. DMV makes perfect sense, and staying engaged that way. So I'll stop sharing. I'll go back, and then I'm also going to share a little bit about an Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to share screen. And so I did a video a day challenge spreadsheet, and you can see, I'll tell you right now, transparently, I paid to boost the first one. So if you look right here for the first one, it has the highest numbers, really crazy. But I actually paid for it just to see if it does anything when you pay for it. And obviously it does. So if you're someone that's really trying to grow your visibility and have a really good video, maybe particularly one or two you would boost, that'll get you some drive and traffic. And those impressions really go up. And as I shared earlier, the views are pretty high and the reactions are way higher than all the other ones. So that people are engaged with the impressions and interactions. I'm going to ask AI, what are 5 observations they see? So based based on this spreadsheet, what are 5 observations you see in the data worth noting? See what they say for this. And so pardon me. So I'm using that. If it's already in the spreadsheet, auto, you can have Copilot. This is Gemini, but it's going to analyze some data. And so it's seeing what's doing. Let's see what I get back. Okay, yeah, so here we go. Based on that, here's some observations, 30 periods, right? Day one obviously was significant because I paid for it. Some other things, the total impressions, the averages right here. Was any time of day. Oh, here's the observation. So it did grow my connections, about 200 connections. So that's really helpful. That's all what I already shared with the other one. Let me see, time of day. What time of day had the best engagement? And so sharing right here, thinking about what day had the best time of day, had the best engagement, besides the one I paid for. So time of day, around, so it's right here it says the best is probably 6 to 11 p.m. with these graphics. For the published time for reactions, and then average reactions was 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. Now I was thinking about that. I'd never posted that early, but then when I realized that when I pulled the data from the spreadsheet, while I was live in Eastern Standard Time, it was using UCS time for data. So just think about that, like posting in different time zones and some other things. So I'm gonna play around with this data and stop share. I just really want to reiterate that doing something like this didn't change, my life monumentally. That was only 30 days, but doing something for 30 days at least gave me a sample in which to collect data. I think that moving forward, I'm probably going to try to do at least 2 videos a month for my LinkedIn to increase. And maybe now that I know I'm doing 2 videos a month, that'll allow me to think about my content for those 2 videos. I'm going to really think about the ways to keep people hooked in and continue to look at the data and analytics to think about how do I grow it. One of my goals is to get 15,000 followers or connections just to increase my bandwidth. And the reason why is I have other things I'm really working on. I want to increase, my podcast, my PhD I'm working on, just my impact and work at Mason. And so through that visibility, I think that it will help me, just connect with more people. Those connections lead to more opportunities. And so I've thought about that very, very thoughtfully as I've curated content on LinkedIn and purposely grew my LinkedIn over the past 3 years. That was something I actually put purpose into. So if you're interested, I'm happy to coach others on this too. So if you're interested in LinkedIn coaching or social media, personal branding, that's something I offer. Feel free to hit me up or DM me. I'm a person as a practitioner while I coach others. So I wouldn't tell others to do things I wouldn't do myself. Keep on creating, keep on being good people. And thank you so much for following along for my 30-day video a day challenge on LinkedIn.